Okay. Uh, Very good morning to all. In this particular semester, I will be going through the design and analysis of algorithms, the subject DA for both the semesters. Okay. Now, I want to make one point clear at the very beginning. This is one of the I don't want to take the word toughest, but this is one of the subject which is very interesting, and you need to pay attention on all the classes. Every minute is important in this particular subject. This subject deals with the algorithm and its analysis and the problem solvings. You can think like it is a mathematical subject. Okay, the DA subject incorporates the concepts of logical thinking. The first is logical thinking, and second is more of your discrete mathematics, right? So most of the time you will be having the kind of a sums you need to solve. So you need to be very attentive during the class, and you need to practice from day one. Okay, I will repeat once again. You need to practice from day one. If you miss to practice and you think that you can, okay, revise and you will learn later just before the examination, then I can 100% tell that you will fail in the subject. Okay, and uh, another point is that this is the subject where more number of students fails. Okay, so I'm not scaring you, but this is one of the very interesting subject to learn. If you focus and pay attention, you will enjoy the concepts of DA, that is for sure. And uh, my one of favorite subject is DA. So pay attention and learn and enjoy. Every day you need to practice. Okay. Secondly, uh, make a rough notebook. Make a rough notebook. Okay. And every day, whatever we learn, I'm using the word learn. Not going to teach you. We are going to learn. Okay, the subject. On particular day, you try to make the notes of those things, and you need to also have a fair book as well. In the fair book, since as I said, this particular subject is consists of more sums, you need to solve it immediately there itself, like a same platform how we used to have it on the offline mode, where suppose a particular lecture used to write on the board. I am also going to write over here, projecting the camera on a piece of paper or a notebook or a papers, and you need to simultaneously solve, okay, the sums. Those are going to be your notes. 80% of the notes are handwritten by yourself. 20% of the notes I will be sharing as a soft copy. Is that clear, students? 80% of the
Yes,
notes
sir.
you are going to make it yourself during the class. Okay, and 20% of the notes I will share as a soft copy. Now question may arise, like only 100 students are getting connected here, what about the remaining students? Remaining students can look into the uploaded video on the YouTube, and based upon that, YouTube go through that particular video, understand, and then write down the notes from that. Okay, fine. Let us start. Begin with the, okay. So quick presentation, the slides, few slides on the syllabus. So what concepts we are going to learn upon and everything we'll look into. So paper wise, you just have, it's just a theory subject, that is, will be taught in a minimum of 40 hours, minimum of 50 hours. This is a minimum. We may extend it around up to 60 to 65 hours if it is required. Okay. And the marks, as you know, the main exam consists of 80 marks and a I of 20, constituting together 100 marks. Okay, syllabus wise we have a same distribution of unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the unit 1 we are going to deal with the algorithms, the introduction part. Okay, what is the algorithm is, okay, and the pseudocode for the expressing the algorithms. This is something important which you need to learn. Okay, already you might have heard about the pseudocode, or you might have already written certain algorithms in your first semester and a second semester, right? So here we are going to write the algorithms with respect to the convention of a pseudocode. Okay, a kind of a false code, which is similar to a C programming. Okay, the concept of that pseudocode expressions we are going to learn in the first semester, first unit, and then followed by we need to focus upon something called as an performance analysis. performance analysis, we can have the two different types of performances for any algorithm. First one is the space, that is the amount of space required by that particular algorithm, and the time complexity. Time complexity means the amount of time required to get executed on a particular computer. So that performance analysis we are going to look upon, and then some type of notations are there, okay, which falls under the performance analysis for the time complexity. Okay, big O notation, omega notation, and theta notations. In the first unit, all these are going to be a pure theoretical oriented, and we have very minimum of the computations here. Okay. In the second unit onwards, that is second, third, fourth, and fifth, we do have different types of techniques or methods, wherein if we make use of those particular techniques, which will get us an effective algorithms. Okay. The first method which we will learn in unit 2 is divide and conquer. Divide and conquer is one of the technique used to develop the algorithms. Okay, so for any of the techniques, we run it into two different methods. First one is the general method. General method, you can think of kind of a syntax or the procedures that we need to adopt in order to develop or design the solutions for those particular problems. Okay. Second is the applications. Applications are the different standard examples which we can make use in order to better understand how this particular techniques works. So in the divide and conquer, there are different applications. The first one is binary search, right? I hope in second semester DS, we have already studied a program based upon a binary search. But here we are going to learn the algorithm of that, how effective it is, okay? The space complexity of that and the time complexity of that, we are going to learn in this particular subject. Binary search and couple of sorting techniques, that is quick sort and a selection sort, and the famous matrix multiplication technique, that is Strassen's matrix multiplication, and finding maximum and minimum of a given elements in an array. So these are the applications which we will solve and learn as a part of divide and conquer technique. In the third unit, we are going to learn another type of a technique or a method called as a greedy method. Right? All these methods are very interesting to learn, very fun oriented concepts. Okay? Again, here the general method we will study, and then we will focus upon the applications of that. Certain standard examples, okay? Job sequencing with deadlines, knapsack problem, single source shortest path, minimum cost spanning trees, optimal storage on tapes. So these are the different types of applications based upon the greedy method. Again, these are problem oriented. In the unit number 4, the third type of technique is dynamic programming. In dynamic program, it is very short. We have only 3 different applications. One is the multi-stage graph, all pairs shortest path, and traveling salesperson's problem. Only 3 problems are there, but those are very lengthy problems and little difficult to understand the dynamic programming. Okay, then in the fifth one, the fifth unit is divided into 2 parts. First one is the traversal and search techniques on the trees and graphs we are going to study. Okay, based upon the different types of data structures, that is the trees and graphs, what type of a traversal and what type of a search techniques we can evolve. And the second part is backtracking. Very, very interesting topic, the backtracking. We have again here 3 different problems: n-queen problem, sum of subset problem, and Hamilton cycles. So overall, this is the your syllabus, which is divided into 5 units. Okay. For the point of examination, all 5 units are divided equally in order to get the questions. References, these are the 2 different textbooks prescribed by the university, but I would suggest that you follow upon the notes which are given, rely on the notes which are given by the faculty members. As an additional, you can look into these particular reference textbooks which are available in the library, our college library. Okay, yes. So let's begin with learning, and that learning should be a happy learning. Hope the syllabus is clear, and we can begin with today's first concept. Any doubts, students, so far? I hope my voice was clear.
Yes, sir.
Without any disturbances and all. If you find my voice is breaking and if you feel that there is a problem with the network connectivity at my side, you can just bring it to my notice by unmuting yourself and speaking there. Okay. Let's go with the first unit. Okay. The introduction part. So in this introduction, we are going to cover up these topics. Okay. No need to bother about this particular all the topics right now. We'll just begin with the first part. The algorithm word actually it has originated from the language Persian language. Let me ask you a quick question. When did you hear this particular word algorithm first time? When did you hear this algorithm word first time? Can anyone tell me?
So school.
School. Interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can you be more precise, ma? When? School?
So 8th standard.
Yeah, probably 8th or a 9th
In the
standard.
computer class.
Computer class. Okay. Okay. Apart from computer class, have you come across anywhere else? Definitely, you might have studied in mathematics in standard 10th. Yes, because in the state board syllabus, in the 10th mathematics concept, you have the term called as an algorithm. Okay, certain type of solutions you might have studied there. Okay, what is algorithm? Can anyone tell me? A definition or a sort of a definition?
Step by step solving a problem.
Step by step solving a problem. Okay.
Understanding the
Understanding the problem.
analyzing the problem.
Okay. Anyone else? Yeah. So algorithm is what? It is a kind of a solution to a given problem. That solution should consist of what? A step-by-step finite number of instructions. That's it, right? Algorithm can be defined as a step-by-step finite number of instructions. If those instructions or those steps are followed, then definitely that will solve the given problem, right? So before the definition we understood, let's see, let's know who has coined or who has introduced this algorithm word. The name is interesting. Abu Abdullah Muhammad Ibn Mus al-Khwarizmi. He is a Persian mathematician. Okay, long back in I think around 800 AD, and somewhere in 800 AD, he has coined this particular word algorithm. Definitions, yeah, we have gone through these particular definitions. Any one of these definitions you can write it in the exam, which definitely will give you a full marks. Okay, now let's go to the next concept, that is characteristics. So characteristics of algorithm, we can say we can categorize as the first characteristics based upon the input, second as the output, and then the remaining three as a finiteness, effectiveness, and definiteness. Now, input means what here? Here, input, we more focus upon that the data items or the data quantities which are externally supplied to the algorithm. Okay, externally supplied means suppose if we want to solve a particular problem, when we write the algorithm, one of the characteristic is that it may take or it may not take the data quantities or the input externally, right? So 0 or more data quantities that are externally supplied. You know, you may think, sir, how, sir, if we don't give any data to it, how it can calculate, how it can perform the operations on that? Do you get a question on your mind? If you don't, I said here 0 or more data quantities. Without any data, can we perform anything? definitely we cannot perform. But here we are talking the input related to the externally supplied data items. Okay, so externally we no need to pass, we may pass or we may not pass any type of input to the algorithm. But output, definitely the algorithm should produce one or many outputs. If the output, if we are not getting any output, then that particular algorithm is not of any use. So the output should be definitely, it should definitely produce one output, one or more outputs as desired. And then the third characteristics is finiteness. Finiteness means what? As we said in the definition part, that it is a step-by-step instructions or the procedures, right? These step-by-step procedures should be in finite in number. Finite in the sense those steps should stop at particular place. If it continues infinitely, then are we going to get a result? Definitely not. So the one of the very major or important characteristic of algorithm is that the steps should stop at a certain position, and that position we should get certain result. It shouldn't go to the infinite times. So that finiteness should be there in the algorithm. Okay. Then the fourth is effectiveness. Effectiveness in the sense, the whatever algorithm we have written, the procedures, it should give us a proper output, or what we can call it to be a desired output. Desired output in the sense, for suppose for an example, if you think, suppose if there is an array consisting of 5 elements. Okay, the problem here is what? We have an array, and the problem to solve is we need to find out the maximum element in the array. Suppose if the elements are say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, when the algorithm is applied and it is solved to the given problem, it should give 50 as the result, as the maximum element. It shouldn't give 40 as the maximum element. If it gives 40 as the maximum element, then definitely that algorithm is not correct. It is not effective. So the result should be effective, or it should be correct, or we can say more precisely as desired result should be obtained from the algorithm. That is effectiveness. Okay, and the last one is definiteness. Definiteness means there shouldn't be any kind of what you say ambiguity in the algorithm, because these are going to be a step-by-step instructions that have to be solved. If there are any problems in understanding those steps, or if there are any ambiguity in that particular steps, then definitely one cannot solve that particular step. If it is not solved, then definitely they will not get the correct or the desired result from that. So definiteness means the instructions or every steps should be clear and unambiguous. So these are the 5 different characteristics of an algorithm. Any doubts, students, here? First one is the input. That input, externally supplied input may be 0, or it may have certain more inputs. That is something you need to remember. Output, definitely it should result at least one output, or it may also result many outputs. And finiteness, that is finite number of steps should be there. At any case, the algorithm should not go into an infinite steps. If it goes into infinite steps, then we will never get a result of that. We will not be able to solve the problem. Then always the desired output or the desired result should be obtained by the algorithm, and every steps or instructions written in the algorithms should be clear and unambiguous. Okay, shall we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, study of algorithms. Now, in the study of algorithms, the algorithm, let me put up all the points here. Study of algorithms means covering all these points. The first one is starting with the creation of the algorithm. then validating the algorithm, then analyzing the algorithm, and followed by the testing. In testing, we can have two different points. Why I put up all the points here is that I want to have an interaction here. What you guys know about anything about these particular points? Now, what do you know about designing? Designing of algorithm means what? Who can put up? Let us have the interaction, students. Whatever knowledge you have, I will try to add upon that. Then we will try to learn this particular concept. Designing of the algorithm means what?
Constructing the algorithm.
Okay.
The structure of an algorithm.
Sir, it's very clear, right? Designing in the sense creating the algorithm, right? Now, let us elaborate little more on the designing the algorithm here. Designing, we can call it to be a devising or a developing the algorithm. Now, when we require the algorithm, whenever there is a problem, if there is a problem and it is asked to solve that particular problem, then we require step-by-step solution for that, isn't it? Now, if certain problem is there, in order to design the algorithm, as a designer, have to think upon certain parameters. First, it could be what? Check out whether is there any existing solution in the sense, is there any existing procedure or algorithm present to solve these type of problems? If yes, try to find out, are there any loopholes? Are there any disadvantages in that particular problem? Or try to make it more effective than the previous existing algorithms. This could be one area that can be taken at the time of creating or designing the algorithm. Okay, now once this analysis is that, once this particular prerequisite done, then the new algorithm can be written or designed by making use of certain standard techniques, right? The standard techniques which I just explained you in the syllabus, like divide and conquer technique, greedy method technique, backtracking technique, or dynamic programming, or any other type of techniques. Make use of those standard techniques and try to generate or create the algorithm. It is need not to be that one particular solution or one algorithm can be written in one technique. It can be written in any other technique as well. So if we have two different techniques available to solve the same problem, then we need to analyze that particular technique in the next phases. So in the first phase, the designing means look upon the what problem is, check out whether is there any existing solution for that. If there is an existing solution, try to find out the drawbacks or the loopholes in that particular algorithm and come up with the new one to overcome those things, or make it more effective by involving or inculcating the techniques such as the backtracking, dynamic programming. Okay, all different techniques we can create the algorithms. So this is the designing phase. Once the designing phase is complete, we can't say that okay, algorithm is perfect, right? We need to do other types of analysis, or we need to go study the different aspects over there. The next aspect is that validation of that particular algorithm. Now, so think that okay, now you have generated one particular or designed an algorithm. How can we validate that? So validation means what here? Can anyone tell me?
Whatever algorithms we have designed, we check whether the result is valid or not.
Yes, very good. That is, suppose this validation is what? Theoretical part. We have designed certain steps, we have designed the algorithm. Now give it certain inputs or the data and go through all the steps and see that at the end whether are we getting a proper or a desired output. If yes, that means okay, the validation or the verification of the algorithm is done. Okay, Baba, I have done all these steps and I am giving these different types of inputs to the algorithm, and it is generating these type of a result. And I know that with this set of input, this set of output is matching. That means the validation is correct. If the validation is correct, then only we can proceed further with the next steps. Suppose if those validations are not correct, then that algorithm what we have designed is not resulting the desired outputs. So we need to think upon redesigning or modifying the existing algorithm. Suppose now the validation is done, validation and verification of the algorithm theoretically. Okay, here think that it is theoretically is done. Okay, it's validated, it's all perfect. Then the next study as area is analysis of that particular algorithm. Now, this is little interesting here. So the first two one were very simple, that is designing and validating. But what about this analyzing? What is basically analysis of the algorithm? Can anyone answer? What you think of probably? You may not be the first point. Let me clear. Whenever I ask you a question, you need not to be correct. Your answer need not to be correct always. If it is a wrong answer, if it is incorrect, you get an opportunity to learn something new over there. So don't hesitate to answer whether it is a wrong or a right. Just go ahead and what you know about that, you can answer. Absolutely no problems. Analyzing or analysis means what?
Coming to conclusion.
Analyzing the complexity of the algorithm.
Analyzing the complexity of the algorithm. Yeah, correct.
So understanding the problem
Understanding
or the algorithm.
problem. No, understanding the problem definitely should have been taken care in the designing part. The complexity or analyzing means when I design this particular algorithm, okay, as I said earlier, solution to any problem might be more than one. Suppose, let me give a very simple analogy here. Now, you want to travel from CBT bus stand to our college. Now, what are the different solutions you can obtain here? What are the different roads you can travel by? There might be definitely more than one. You may come up with 10 different routes, right? But among all those 10 different routes, there should be one route which will give you the best result. Best result in the sense you can reach the college or the destination in very short time. When we have more solutions, among the more solutions, there could be definitely one which is a better or the best solution. That is analyzing. When we have designed the algorithm, then we need to analyze, or more properly, we can say we need to find the complexity or performance of that particular algorithm. Okay, performance complexity means what? Simple terms. In simple terms, we can say when we generate the algorithm, definitely later there should be a program written for that particular algorithm. Definitely it is going to be executed later, right? Someone is going to write the program for that. Once the program is written, definitely that program has to be executed on a computer. When it is executed, two aspects will come in. First aspect is what? The time taken by the CPU in order to execute that program. Second is the data stored in that particular computer, the program or the data, input data stored on that particular computer, how much amount of data it stores in the computer. So these two parameters we have to analyze. Okay, in the analysis step itself, that is before writing the program, the developer of the algorithm has to give focus upon these two things. First one is the time complexity. The time complexity is nothing but what? How much amount of time is required when it is executed. That we need to focus upon. Okay, this is a derivation that has to be done theoretically. There are certain steps involved in deriving those things, which we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. Okay, then second is what? The amount of space required by that particular algorithm when it is when the program is written and when it is getting executed, then how much of time it may require. So the analysis, the performance of the algorithm has to be done in two different things. The first one is the time performance, that is we usually call it as a time complexity, and space complexity. Space complexity means the amount of space required. Okay, so once this analysis is done, then we have to go for a testing. Testing here is nothing but we need to convert that algorithm into a program. Okay, and once the program is done, then test it. Again, testing can be done in two different methods or the two different paths. One is debugging. Debugging is basically what? If there are any errors in the program, solve those errors. If it requires modification of the algorithm, then do it and do all the steps again, and then again perform the testing. Second is profiling. Profiling means for all the input values, are we getting the correct output or not? It is like the validation, the step number 2, validating whatever we have done theoretically, that have to be done practically in step number 4.2. Okay, the step number 2, which is done theoretically, have to be converted into a program and then should be executed on a particular computer and then analyze the input and output. And if there are any problems, then solve those things as a debugging activity. So these are the 4 different study areas of an algorithm, starting from creating and ending with the profiling. Okay, am I clear in these particular concepts, or you need you want me to explain any of these points once again?
No, sir, it's clear.